On that note, I do want to talk about, so what was like, their volleyball demands like through college, because you're still playing on the national team and you're going through a
Yeah,
whole collegiate season and you're doing all of this extra work and practices, right? So briefly explain what was that like? And obviously your work ethic helped your development tremendously, but what was the demands on your schedule? Were you able to come home during break sometimes and enjoy some time off? What was that like?
yeah, gosh. Okay, I'm going to kind of go chronologically here
Okay.
in terms of how my collegiate experience started and then kind of blended into the national team and finish. So freshman year, I come in, we have Tony Chiarelli, national player of the year that year. I end up being the freshman of the year. We get to the national championship game. We get beat in the national championship game my freshman year. And incredible year, right? We set a bunch of records, consecutive wins, this and that. And I have a breakout year in my freshman year. I can say quite confidently riding the back of Tony Chiarelli. He was, collegiately just a beast. And so he graduates. We graduate, our two co-captains, a lot of our veterans. And my sophomore year comes around and I end up having personally my worst win and loss season ever.
Mhm.
I think we were like 6-16 or something like that. And, coming off playing in the national championship game to just struggling, man. Like I was going back and forth on how I could do better. We just weren't as talented. It was kind of a rebuild year. And so I was working extra hard. This was kind of that time period. It was me trying to figure out how I could contribute to the team. I know I'm not going to score a whole lot of points because I'm a setter, but how can I score points? Okay, well, I can serve the ball. That's where I control everything.
Mhm.
I got the ball in my hand, and once that whistle's blown, it's me. It's an individual skill. And so I tried to work on that. And it was a lot of ups and downs. It was pretty discouraging mentally and emotionally, but also taught me probably more than any year of my entire career on how to continuously be diligently working hard, to not let circumstance and outcome affect the present and what you're doing today to make you better. And so that constant battle was with me of like, no, just work hard today and tomorrow it'll show, or the
Mhm.
next day it'll show. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next day, but it'll be worth it. And so speaking to that point, the season ends. I'm just like, all right, we're done with that. Let's get to the next one. And let's do better.
Mhm.
And so the season ends and my coach gets a call and he goes, John Sprout just called me and wants to talk to you about possibly coming in the gym. And that was the answer to my prayers, if you may, or
Mhm.
that was the light at the end of the tunnel of, oh, so this is what all that hard work was for.
Mhm.
Because I was taken aback. I was like, I just had probably statistically the worst year of my career.
Mhm.
Why is he calling me?
Mhm.
Why would I even be considered? I thought that this was a failure. And so basically I get on the phone with him. We're talking about it. And he goes, I'm going to try these 3 setters out for World League. And if I haven't found my 100% starter for this next year, this was 2013. So this was after the 2012 Olympics.
Okay.
If I haven't found my concrete starter, you can come to the gym, you can keep score, shag some balls and do something. I don't know, be around it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So World League goes by. I have like my last vacation ever, let's say.
Got
This
it.
is for me personally, this is known as like my last vacation because it was my last like half of a summer free. And so I get the call from John. World League finishes and he goes, still looking and we'd love to just have you come in the gym. And I was like, cool, whatever you need, I'm down. This is my dream. Just give me an opportunity and I'll be ready. And so I'm in the gym. It was Kavika Shoji, it was Brian Thornton, and it was Kyle Caldwell. We're kind of the 3 mainstays. I was in the gym for about a week or two, shagging balls, keeping score, wiping up the court. but I was stoked. I was like, we got Reed Pretty, we got Matt Anderson, we got Rich Lamborn, Clay Stanley was in the gym, but Clay was rehabbing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, this is sweet. Like, I'm just learning, watching.
Mm-hmm.
If I get to play, awesome. If not, I'll pay my dues, you know? And it just so happened one day, either Kavika or Brian couldn't make practice. They had some obligation. Kyle Caldwell sprains his ankle. And so I'm sitting there freezing cold doing score. And they're like, I'm looking around and I see him sprain his ankle. I'm like, okay, he's a setter. Looking around, there's no other setters. Looks like it's me. So I start like warming up. I'm young. I don't need to warm up. And I'm 19 at the time. And I'm just like, all right, let's do it. Like, let's go compete. Mm-hmm. And I ended up coming in and competing and I can't say I objectively set the ball well, mm-hmm. but I won a lot of the drills. I ended up winning quite a bit. And that left a mark in the minds of a lot of people, I think. And I didn't do it in a way that I was outgoing or stepping on anyone's toes. I was like, head down, play the best volleyball I can, compete, be myself on the court, but like know your place type of deal, right? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of it was, I remember I told this story a few times. I'm sitting next to Rich Lamborn, who is like pit bull of a dude, like jacked, Olympic gold medalist. And he had kind of the stern role on the team. He'll tell you how it is. And so I'm stretching next to him after practice. I'm like, hey, Rich, like, what can I get better at? Like, tell me what you see. I know you've been around the game so long. What can I get better at? And I was like, let's do it. Like, let's take all that he's got. Like, I'm ready for him to just go down the laundry list. You stink at this, you get better at this and that. And he was taking it back. And he goes, you're doing fine. And I was like, that was one of the biggest confidence boosters of my career. Mm-hmm. Of like Olympic gold medalist, guy I watched growing up and was an inspiration to me playing volleyball. Said, you're doing pretty well. And which was completely took me aback and caught me off guard. And so that kind of propelled me to realizing, I can maybe compete here a little bit, even though I'm playing alongside or against Reed Pretty, Matt Anderson, Clay Stanley, David Lee, Russell Holmes, all of these Olympians, gold medalists at that. Mm-hmm. And so that was my introduction. That was my opportunity, my little opportunity. When I didn't think I was getting it, I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't going to sleep the night before saying, all right, tomorrow's my shot. Uh-huh. It was, I hate to be cliche, but you stay ready. Yeah. Whenever that opportunity presents itself, and if I just sucked it up, I don't know if I get invited back, mm-hmm. Or maybe I get invited back, but to a lower team to go to some other tournament and not be kind of included with the A team. Mm-hmm. And so I accredit a lot of my national team journey to that moment, and that I got lucky to get the opportunity. I didn't get lucky because I ended up, I served 5 balls and they were all aces, tape aces that dropped in, like not that lucky. Yeah. I was lucky to get the opportunity. Mm-hmm. And once the opportunity arose and presented itself, I took advantage of it.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. And that goes back to what you were saying, all that preparation before that, right? And just staying ready, because when the opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare for anything, right? It's either you're Absolutely. Ready for it or you're not, right? And I think all of those things, and sometimes that is what it is, right? Just being at the right place at the right time and luck of the draw. But nothing takes away from the preparation that you have to put into that to actually perform, right? And probably what you were doing, just head down and performing, that was just what you were practicing over and over.